All right, hello everybody. I want to thank you all for attending and welcome to this afternoon's online community meeting. My name is David Lovato, Public Communications Specialist with VTA. And this afternoon, we are here to talk about the US 101 DeLa Cruz Boulevard, Trimble Road Interchange Improvement Project. This presentation is being recorded by VTA to post on our project webpage and share with our project subscribers. So just to go over our agenda for this presentation, what we're going to do is talk, we're going to have Neil Ong with the City of San Jose, as well as Peter Lee with VTA talk about the project overview, as well as a little bit of history. Bharat Patel with VTA is going to go over what to expect as far as the construction phase and any construction mitigations that you would need to be aware of as a commuter or if you work in the area. Bharat is also going to give us a construction schedule so you kind of have an idea of what's going on and when and how, and then what I'll do is I'm going to wrap up this presentation with what to expect as far as communication, how you can stay engaged and be aware of what's happening with this construction as we move forward. And then after the presentation, we are going to open it up to questions related to this project. We also have a handful of panelists that are going to be available to us, as well as the presenters, to help with any questions that our audience has. Josephine Kimura with the City of San Jose, Joe Nguyen with the City of San Jose, Jean Gonzalo with VTA, and John Cacciati with HMH. So with every presentation, we want to go over how you as an audience can participate, as well as our virtual meeting etiquette, what we expect as far as our presenters, our panelists, and you as an audience. I want to remind everybody to treat each other with respect, kindness, and consideration. Please type your questions and comments in the question and answer. We're going to ask our panelists, presenters, and our audience, mute your audio when you are not speaking. You can also raise your hand if you would like to speak during the Q&A portion of this community meeting, and then lower it if your hand after you speak. VTA will not tolerate any demeaning, discriminatory, or harassing behavior in speech. VTA staff will remove any participants who refuse to adhere to this code of conduct. And how you can participate as you as an audience. Well, what you're going to see at the bottom of your screen is a raised hand bar and a Q&A section. So if you would like to ask questions during the Q&A, you can always raise your hand and that'll indicate to us that you would like to ask a question. We will unmute you. You'll get a prompt to unmute yourself, and then you can ask your question. You'll also see at the bottom of the bar that there's a question and answer portion that you can type in your questions, and you can type in those questions at any time during this presentation. You do not have to wait to the Q&A section, but we do ask that you consider that we will not get to those questions until the portion of that presentation. For those of you, our audience, that have dialed in on your phone, you can also participate by pressing *9 to raise your hand, and we'll unmute you. You ask your question. So before we get started, it's a little bit about VTA and what we do, and kind of who kind of steers the ship and lets us know what we're supposed to be doing. So VTA is an independent special district, and we are governed by a board of directors. As of right now, today, Glenn Hendricks is our chairperson and Chappie Jones is our vice chairperson. VTA's core transit services are bus, light rail, and paratransit services to our seniors and those with disabilities. VTA constructs transit facilities and projects. VTA also has a transit-oriented development program. VTA also is responsible for congestion management throughout the county, and that's exactly why we're here at this community meeting. VTA funds and builds highway interchange projects. We partner with Caltrans, the Santa Clara County, and cities within the county. This also includes, our projects also include highway interchanges and pedestrian and bicycle improvement projects. Again, why we're here today. And without further ado, I'm going to turn over the presentation to Neil Ong with the City of San Jose and Peter Lee with VTA to go over our project overview. Neil?
All right, thank you, David. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Neil Ong with the City of San Jose Department of Transportation. My group includes Josephine Kimura and Joe Nguyen. We work with BTA, the lead for the project, along with our partners that include Caltrans, City of Santa Clara, County of Santa Clara, and our own city airport to move the project through all necessary phases to get to where we are today. We're really excited to now have 2 major highway interchanges to be constructed in San Jose within the last year. Just some quick background on the project. This project is a top priority for the city and is included as part of the city's North San Jose area development policy to improve traffic operations, enhance safety for vehicles getting to US 101 from this interchange or vice versa, and improve safety, mobility for bicyclists and pedestrians across the interchange. This project is the second highway project in San Jose to use the Santa Clara County voter approved 2016 Measure B tax measure for construction. And in addition, we will also be utilizing state Senate Bill 1 funds and local developer fees. Now that you know a little background of the project, I will hand it off to Peter Lee of BTA to go into detail on the project scope.
Thank you, Neil. Good afternoon. My name is Peter Lee. I'm the project manager for this project. Just in case you are not familiar with the project location, the 101 DeLa Cruz Boulevard Trimble Road interchange is located mostly in the city of San Jose. It's next to the city of San Jose Airport, as you can see on the map. At the top of the map is Seaboard Avenue and the Guadalupe River. At the bottom of the map is Central Expressway and the city Santa Clara city limits. I will go through the details of the project in the next slides. Next, please. So why are we doing this project? The current configuration of the on and off ramps in the southbound 101 direction going toward the airport has a short distance for cars entering and exiting the freeway. This project will remove this conflict and improve traffic operations and enhance safety. The project will also connect the existing 3 lanes on the Trimble Road and the Cruz Boulevard across the freeway from improved operations. Currently, this interchange is also not friendly for the bicyclists and pedestrians as it's an outdated design. The project will implement complete street features which will improve mobility and enhance safety for bicyclists and pedestrians. Next, please. This is an animation of the completed project flying from the Central Expressway side of the interchange. As we fly down, we are on the new separated multi-use path that go under the freeway off and on ramp. We will have the opening as wide as possible to bring in natural light and to make the bicyclist and pedestrian experience more pleasant. After going under the ramps, the bus rises to the new bridge. Inside the ramp loop, the bus is separated from the traffic on the bridge with a concrete barrier. And we headed down towards Seaboard Avenue, Trimble Road. The multi-use path crosses a design on-ramp that is part of the signal line intersection to eliminate free-flow car movements for improved bicyclist and pedestrian safety. As we get to the Seaboard Avenue Trimble Road intersection, you will see the new protected intersection improvement for bicyclists and pedestrians. This multi-use path will also connect to the Guadalupe River Trail. Next, please. The proposed improvements include, but not limited to, the following: replacing the existing overcrossing with a wider structure that accommodates 6 lanes, widening DeLa Cruz Boulevard to provide an additional through lane in each direction from Central Expressway to the Trimble Avenue, installing two-way multi-use path from Central Expressway to Galilee River Trail, modify the loops and ramps, and the project also includes landscaping of the interchange. Next, please. This project is funded by the City of San Jose, VTA 2016 Measure B, and State Fund SB1. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. I'm a visual learner, so I love those videos. That video everyone saw is actually available on our project webpage as well, so you can watch it to your heart's desire. I'm going to turn over to the topic of what to expect during this construction phase and also our planned construction mitigations to Bharat Patel with VTA. Bharat?
Thank you, David. Yes, I agree with you. It was a great illustration that Peter made. Animation was awesome. Now I'm going to speak about what to expect during construction and mitigation of those points of concern. Noise and traffic activities are the main activities that create many concerns. The construction will be done in different stages. It includes installation of temporary concrete barriers, also known as K-rails, to protect construction workers and provide safety for traffic and pedestrians. Staging work will require striping of lane closures on the roadway, which will result in lane shifts. It also will require lane closures to facilitate the crew to perform the necessary construction activities. Traffic detours will be in place as necessary to maintain traffic mobility. In some instances, the project construction will require sidewalk to be closed. In those instances, detours for pedestrians will be in place to make sure the pedestrian access is maintained all the time. The bridge construction also includes pile driving, which is the major operations for pile driving for foundation of the columns. It also includes some trenching, excavation, and installations of electrical equipment for the new bicycle pedestrian undercrossing below the southbound on and off ramps. Since some construction operations cannot be performed in daytime, certain night work will be required. David, next slide, please. So how are we going to mitigate all the constructions to point of concerns? So first thing first, safety is our number one priority. Will never ever be compromised. Lane closures and ramp closures will be in place to ensure workers and traffic safety. Sidewalk closures, as I mentioned earlier, will be done whenever it's absolute necessary to limit inconvenience to the pedestrians. Traffic detours will be in place. Advance notice regarding the detours will be provided and posted on VTS websites. Traffic advisories will be shared with appropriate authorities and affected businesses to minimize inconvenience. Next slide, David. Dust control. So just like any other project, major construction projects, in this project also dust will be generated due to roadway excavations and concrete removal and some likewise operations. The construction is required the contractor is required to provide water trucks and street sweeping to control dust, and that dust control measure will be enforced whenever is required. Noise and vibrations, regarding that, the pile driving will be done in daytime, and jackhammering is another operations that is noise creating operations. So VTA will advise local communities of upcoming operations that may create an inconvenient conditions due to noise or vibrations. Vibrations will be closely monitored for all the affected properties. We also have tree removals. So we counted about 42 trees. So these trees are in conflict with project constructions will be removed along DeLa Cruz Boulevard at on and off ramps. At the end of the project constructions, the project site will receive landscaping, new landscaping with new trees and shrubs. Talking about now the construction schedule, the project has been awarded to the contractor. The contractor is on board now. He's working on his construction schedule and coordination with pertinent vendors and subcontractors. So after everything is lined up as planned, it is anticipated that the construction to start in September 2021, which is next month. If all days in the contracts, if all days are working days, the projected completion is spring 2024. So this is the brief summary of construction activities and schedule that our community would be interested in. David?
Thank you, Bharat. I know that's a lot to go over, and we want to make sure that we save time for questions. So I'm just going to briefly discuss what the communication process is going to be like during this construction phase. So how to reach us? We got a couple of options. You can always reach out to community outreach directly. We have our phone number, 408-321-7575. You can also email us your questions, comments, concerns about this project to community.outreach@vta.org. We also have our customer service line. You can reach us at 408-321-2300 or email at customer.service@vta.org. Also, it's very important that you subscribe for updates, be notified when construction starts and construction activities, any detours, freeway closures at any moment. You'll be notified if you subscribe for updates. So we encourage everybody to visit the project webpage, look for the subscribe to updates icon in the lower right corner of the project page, and you're going to enter your email and click subscribe. Once you do, you'll get an email confirmation. Once you confirm your subscription, you are now updated and will be notified immediately for any project or construction updates throughout the construction phase. And with that, now I'm going to turn it over to our audience. So if you have any questions about this project, our panelists are more than able to ask related questions. So I have a little bit of help from our supervisor with public communications, Kathleen Podrasky. So she and I are going to tag team as Q&As or hands are raised.
How do you want to do this, David? Do you want to start with the typed in answers or questions?
I thought I saw a hand raised, but I guess I do not. So yeah, if we have a typed question, we can go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead. So Marley Smith asks a really good question about how many trees will be removed in total. And before I turn that over, I just want to state that we don't like removing trees. We only do that when we have to. Trees are definitely a part of a community's identification. And typically when we do have to remove trees, they are replaced at a higher ratio. So it's usually, it depends on the size of the tree. I believe the slide said that there were going to be 42 trees removed. And so the question is, so I think I answered that part so far, but how many will be planted? So how many will be replaced? I don't know if you have that number yet, because I know it's usually a ratio. So it's usually more than we remove. And then how many of them will actually be planted back into the new landscaping? And do you have that answer yet? I don't know if you have that already in your plans.
I think we can have John answer that since
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
landscaping.
yeah, happy to speak to that. So yeah, there are some trees being removed. I will say that the area actually in its existing condition is pretty sparse when it comes to trees. And to be clear, trees are measured as anything greater than 4 inches in diameter at the root. That being said, there are a couple dozen trees that are being removed. And unfortunately, because of the proximity to the airport, we are unable to put back those trees on the project site. So we worked closely with the airport's biologists and the FAA, and flowering species and trees encourage birds immediately downstream of the runways and can increase the potential for bird strikes to aircraft. And so as a requirement of the FAA and safety coordination with the airport, the project is not putting back any trees. We do have enhanced landscaping and ground cover, and ultimately the proposed landscaping will be in excess of what's out there today. But explicitly talking about the number of trees, there is a reduction in the post-project condition, again, to protect the safety of airplanes operating at the runway immediately south of the project area.
Yeah, I want to add that. Thank you, John. If we cannot plant the tree within the project limit, we will pay a fee to plant the tree somewhere in the city of San Jose. And so to make it up for if the requirement of the FAA that we cannot plant 42 trees, for example, the requirement for the replacement, then we will plant somewhere in the city of San Jose to make it up. That's the project requirement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I thought I saw a hand up too, and it did go away. So if you want to come back, or if anybody else wants to type in.
And again, if a question comes to you later on after this project, you can always reach us. This presentation will be uploaded later today on the project webpage, so you can view it again, and you can always ask your questions throughout the entire length of this project. And I don't see hands, or we do have a question. I'll take this one. So Kevin asks, will bicyclists still be able to use the existing route through San Jose City to the Guadalupe Trail?
During construction, is that?
I think that's the airport, SJC.
SJC, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So will bicyclists still be able to use the existing route through SJC to the Guadalupe Trail?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Adam asks, was there the possibility of addressing the congestion at the 101 South to 87 South single exit lane considered in this project? And are any other projects in the works to address this issue? So specifically the congestion at 101 South to 87 South single exit lane.
Yeah, I can answer that question. Yeah, we are working on that to widen the 87 southbound, 101 southbound to 87 southbound to add another lane. So the project will be in construction shortly, probably by the end of this year, and be completed by the summer of next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. So those of you interested in that project, you'll be notified. VTA will send out a notification similar to what we're doing now. We'll have a construction meeting to talk about it, and you subscribe for those updates. So it's good to know that project is coming. Thank you, Peter. All right. I don't see any other hand raised or any other questions. And we don't need lots of moments of silence while people think about it, but I will remind everybody that at any time during this process of the project, you can ask your questions directly to community outreach or VTA customer service. This presentation is going to be uploaded later today, so you can view the project webpage, subscribe for updates so as we move forward with construction. And we look forward to working with the community, our businesses, and our commuters as we move forward with this project. So I want to thank our panelists. I want to thank our presenters for making yourselves available to share this exciting project. Looking forward to working with everybody as well as our community and moving forward. So I want to thank you, everybody.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.